we'll move to the site. So the site is complicated at this building. As you guys, anybody that's probably had to, I don't personally experience it. I have shown up at the right times at 7:30 in the morning so that I can see what's happening there, as well as 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you can at least get a sense. And certainly parent drop-off, student drop-off is intense, as it is at every district. You know, it really becomes difficult when you have such a large population of parents dropping students off or picking students up. So there's a lot that goes on out in this existing parking lot. So this is new that's shown here, but this is, you know, this is Rader Road. This is that junior high entrance here. You can begin to see that curve, and this is all parking lot currently. And as I understood it, there were a few different ways that the administration has tried to use this. You know, at one point there was the idea of bringing the as the traffic came in on Rader Lane, that it would make that immediate left-hand turn right next to the baseball field, and the cars were able to queue up along this way, and then come back out onto Rader Lane and make a left or a right. The problem with that, obviously, is not obviously, but the problem with that can occur is that students typically are getting out of the right-hand side of the car, not necessarily the left-hand side of the car. So you have to keep that in mind, which way you want to see the students get out of the car, which side of the car you want to be adjacent to that entrance or exit. So that I think worked well in terms of the length of queue. That was the experience that was at the high school, but I think there were concerns of students getting out of that passenger seat and basically getting out into traffic potentially instead of onto a sidewalk. So then the idea was to bring them down Rader Lane, and I think this is how it currently works: is you come down Rader Lane, you come in at that southernmost entrance, and you loop back around to the building. As you can see here, the problem with that is you end up with people that stop here in front of the school entrance, and you have very little space for queuing of vehicles. So you end up with vehicles queuing out onto Rader Road is what you end up, is really what ends up occurring. So I think that kind of sums up what we're trying to solve at the student drop-off. The parent drop, or the bus loop, the current bus loop as it lays out, I think as we understand it, the problems there is that the bus loop isn't really separated from the parking lot. If you go to that site, you can see that they've set up cones kind of along where the bus loop comes in. And the idea there, I think, was to prevent people from coming in out of the parking lot and ending up accidentally in the bus loop. As well as there's all those parking spots, those visitor parking spots that are also kind of technically in the bus loop, you know. So it begins to create those complications within the bus loop. So those were the things that we were looking at there. So with those two things, those were what we saw as problems, potential problems on the site that we were looking at trying to solve.